June 16th, 1988. Hi, journal. School is out. Finally done with elementary school. Junior high is next. Yay. June 17th, 1988. Jessica and Alicia stayed over last night. We watched The Lost Boys again. Jessica says Jason Patrick is the sexiest, but I love Kiefer Sutherland. And the Coreys. Alicia says we shouldn't covet men like that. She says that God frowns on lust. I don't know what the covet means, but if it means taking my posters of the Coreys down, then Alicia can stuff it up her June 18th, 1988. Okay, journal. So today was weird. I convinced Mum and Dad to let Jessica and Alicia stay over another night, and their parents were cool with it. But Alicia needed to be home by 3 because her grandmother was coming to dinner, and if you think Alicia has to stick up her grandmother is way worse. So we didn't do much this morning, just hung out in the backyard and talked about what we thought junior high was going to be like. After lunch, we rode Alicia home, taking that gravel road that cuts through the grass and cornfields. You know, the shortcut. But it wasn't a shortcut today because of the weirdness. Halfway to her farm, Alicia screamed. But it was an excited scream, not a scared scream. It's the scream I'd make if I saw one or both of the Coreys ever in real life. Alicia saw kittens. I didn't see them, but Jessica said she did too. So we slowed and stopped our bikes and made kissing noises to try to coax the kittens out of the grass. But all we heard was adorable mewing coming from a few yards into the field. There was no way we were going to just ride off when there were kittens. Jessica and Alicia dropped their bikes by the side of the road, but I moved my bike to a wild rosebush, hoping it wouldn't be obvious if anyone drove by, because my mum said that if I had another bike stolen because of my carelessness, then that would be the last bike she and Dad bought for me.
What are you doing?
Alicia asked, more than a little annoyed.
Let her hide it. You know how her parents get.
Jessica chimed in. While Alicia's attitude didn't change, her eyes stopped shooting daggers at me and softened as she turned them on Jess. Alicia sighed because that's what Alicia does.
Let's just hurry up. If I'm late, my daddy will whip my ass with a belt.
Sorry, I said, and walked away from my bike, not exactly happy at the poor hiding job I did.
Great,
Jessica said, and then tucked her bike next to mine. After a second, Alicia did the same. With the bike semi-hidden, we stepped into the grass. I didn't think about snakes or ticks or spiders or anything nasty. My brain had nothing but kittens on it. If I weren't walking extra carefully, so I didn't accidentally step on a kitten, I probably wouldn't have found the first grave marker. It wasn't one of those upright gravestones, but a flat piece of granite or whatever embedded into the ground. Mira Elise Cole, born October 3rd, 1918, died October 19th, 2001. Wow, to live 83 years. 18 seems like an eternity away. 80? That doesn't even feel real. Then it hit me. 2001? Why would the death year be in the future? Whoa, Jessica said a few feet away. Only her head and shoulders were visible above the tall grass.
Is this a cemetery? Oh, gross,
Alicia said from just behind Jess.
We're standing on dead bodies?
We're kinda always standing on dead bodies, I said.
Millions of years of animals dying and dissolving into the soil. I bet dinosaurs died right here at some point.
Dinosaurs aren't real, Alicia said in her haughty, know-it-all voice.
Not ones from millions of years ago. The Earth has only been around for a few thousand years.
That's definitely not true, I replied, and laughed. Mr. Lawrence's science class taught us that. Science doesn't know everything. If you want the truth, there's only one book that can... Do not say the Bible. Come on, Alicia. Do you really believe... Look at this, Jessica called. Guys, look at this. Alicia glared at me. I glared back. But neither of us could resist Jessica, so we pushed through the tall grass, stepping over other grave markers.
Do you see this?
Jessica said, pointing down at the ground. There were several grave markers, like a whole line of them, and we knew all the names.
This isn't right,
Alicia said, and I could tell she was scared. I wasn't scared. I was confused, yeah, but not scared.
These are all the kids who died in that bus accident last year,
Jessica said, walking up and down the line of markers.
Who did this? This is pretty fucked up.
Alicia tisked at Jessica for saying fuck, but we both ignored her. She likes tisking only second to sighing.
It's every single one,
I said when I joined Jessica.
Look, it even has Heather Baumgartner's death as 2 days later, because she's the only one who survived the actual crash. She died in the hospital,
Alicia said.
I know,
I replied, so tired of the know-it-all. I was kind of glad Alicia had to go home early.
Guys,
I didn't even see Jessica walk off. I was so busy reading the markers.
Guys, come here.
Alicia and I hurried through the grass and almost bumped into Jessica's back when we found her. She was staring down at her feet. Jessica Morgan Sachs, born February 21st, 1976, died July 13th, 2020.
That's not you,
Alicia responded.
That has to be some other Jessica Sachs. What's with the death date?
I asked.
It's in the future, just like that first one I saw. I die when I'm like 44,
Jessica said in a low, quiet voice that was very un-Jessica. Then she snapped out of it and her eyes widened.
Maybe you guys are here too. No, ma'am, I don't want to find a grave with my name on it,
Alicia shrieked.
Come on.
Jessica took off, bent all low, her arms shoving the grass out of the way, her head swiveling back and forth. Jessica was on the hunt, and there was no stopping her. I smirked at Alicia and quickly followed. We found all sorts of grave markers. Some had death dates way, way in the future. Some were only a couple weeks away, like with Carla Spaulding. Her marker said she'd die in September, on the 25th. We probably searched that cemetery for another 30 minutes before Alicia let out a strangled cry. Hurrying over to her, we found her with her hand over her mouth, fear in her eyes. She pointed down silently, and we followed her finger until we both saw the grave marker. Alicia Marie Girk, born March 7th, 1976, died January 2nd, 1989.
Holy crap,
I said.
You die next year? No,
Alicia said, her voice a terrified whisper.
That sucks,
Jessica laughed.
Let's find Carrie's grave.
And she was off again, searching for my final resting place.
We need to leave,
Alicia whined.
This place is evil. We need to tell an adult. Oh, change your diaper already,
I scoffed, and dove into the grass again too. Another 15 or 20 minutes passed before I literally tripped over myself.
Found it,
I shouted. Caroline Brenda Lister, born September 1st, 1976, died August 27th, 2020. Jessica found me and looked down at my grave.
Whoa, we both died the same year. What happens in 2020? Do you think it's an alien attack? Or the Russians finally nuke us? Or maybe it's a zombie plague? Or slugs? Slugs? Yeah, there's that movie where slugs take over. No, it's triffids. What are triffids? Mutant plants that eat people. Gross. But slugs aren't. We need to leave this cursed place,
Alicia shouted from behind us, making us both jump.
Why?
Jessica asked.
This place is cool. It's wrong,
Alicia said. Then her eyes fell on me.
Did you do this? Did I do what? This is a joke, right? One of your stupid pranks? Well, it's not funny, Carrie. It's blasphemous. Christ, Alicia, get a grip,
Jessica said.
Don't say the Lord's name in vain. Yeah, Alicia, get a grip,
I said.
This isn't funny, Caroline,
she shouted at me.
I'm going to tell my daddy, and he's going to call your daddy, and you're going to get a whipping. My dad doesn't whip me,
I responded.
Only white trash rednecks like you do that.
Alicia's face turned beet red, and she lunged for me.
Guys, calm down,
Jessica shouted, getting between us. The slap meant for my cheek hit Jessica's instead, and that stopped us flat.
Sorry,
Alicia said in her quiet voice. She does have a quiet voice.
It's okay,
Jessica replied and rubbed her cheek.
We should get you home so you don't get a whipping.
We made our way back to the bikes and rode Alicia home. We never did find the kittens. June 19th, 1988. I didn't sleep well last night, journal. The house was hot since Dad refuses to buy an air conditioner unit. He says it dries out his sinuses. But the heat wasn't all. I kept having bad dreams about buses crashing and kids dying and kittens getting run over. And that date kept running through my head. Caroline Brenda Lister, born September 1st, 1976, died August 27th, 2020. When I got up, Mum thought I was sick and said she'd take me to the doctor. I told her I was fine and ate up all the bacon and eggs she'd made me, even though I wasn't really hungry. Jessica called me around 1, and I pulled the phone cord out onto the back deck. It was hot, but it was private.
Alicia is freaking out about her grave,
Jessica said.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, well, her dad called my mom, and my mom wants to know where the cemetery is.
Are you going to tell her?
But when Jess didn't answer, I knew she already did.
Shit, is she going out to find it?
Jess didn't answer again.
Jesus, Jessica, did your mom go to that cemetery?
No, she couldn't find it.
Oh, good.
I couldn't find it either, Carrie. I went with her to show her because she was really mad. Alicia's dad has been yelling about sinners and the devil and all that horse crap, and you know how superstitious my mom is.
You couldn't find it? It was right by that wild rose bush.
I found that, but no cemetery.
Shit.
We sat in silence for a minute, then I said,
I kind of wanted to go back and see the markers again.
Me too.
You really couldn't find it?
Like it was never there.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, no kittens either. September 9th, 1988. First day of school, and Alicia ruined it. She lost her shit during third period language arts because we found out that Lisa Dubler had died from carbon monoxide poisoning in her basement rec room. But that wasn't what set her off. It was the date that Lisa died on.
That was on her marker,
Alicia hissed at us just after the announcement.
Oh, Heavenly Father, please let this be a coincidence, please?
Mrs. Haskell, who taught 7th grade language arts, shushed Alicia, but it didn't work. Alicia just kept working herself into a tizzy until Mrs. Haskell had to call down to the office and the nurse had to come and walk Alicia out of there. The rest of the day was just kind of boring after that. I don't know if Alicia was right or not. I couldn't remember any of the other grave markers besides Jessica's, mine, and Alicia's. Oh, wait, hold on. That first one with Mrs. Cole's name on it. She dies on October 19th, 2001. I remember that. November 30th, 1988. They took Alicia away today. She came back to school for only a few days after the first day. Her mum said she had mono, but if she had mono then Jess and I would have mono too, because we spent a lot of time together over the summer. Jess said it was bullshit because mono is the kissing disease, and Alicia hadn't ever kissed anyone. I didn't point out to her that neither one of us has either. Jess called me after school and gave me the news. Her parents drove her up to Hutchinson.
The mental hospital?
Yeah, they said she couldn't stop crying. And then when Kira Norris died last week, she started screaming nonstop.
Kira was one of the names.
I didn't have to explain further. Jessica knew what names I was talking about. We should go visit her.
Yeah, we should.
January 4th, 1989. We never did go visit Alicia, and now she's gone. I feel like shit, like total shit. Jessica and I were her friends, her best friends, and we never went. She hung herself in her room with a bedsheet. She died on January 2nd, just like her grave marker said. The service is next weekend. April 16th, 1990. I haven't spoken to Jess in like a year, not since Alicia's service. I think we both feel guilty somehow. Not that we could have stopped it, but we could have been there for her. I was surprised when Jess called this morning. Angela Burke, was all she said when I answered.
Another marker,
I replied. I felt numb.
Yeah.
Then she hung up. October 21st, 1991. Billy Hawley asked me out today. I said I'd think about it, even though I've had a crush on him since 7th grade. I should have been jumping up and down, but all I could think about was that I wanted to tell Jess. And Jess and I barely speak. We hardly look at each other in the hallway. It sucked in junior high, but now that we're in high school, well, people drift apart. I just wanted to tell Jess so bad, and I couldn't, because the only times we ever speak is when one of the dates comes true. This sucks. I'm going to see if we have any ice cream. March 21st, 1992. 6 kids. Fuck. I called Jess first because I know she has dates in her head. I only have 2 dates in my head. Jess's and mine. Well, and Mrs. Cole's. I just saw her at the supermarket last week. She looks great. But poor Jess has all these dates locked in there. It's probably why she's already drinking and smoking and hanging out with those goth kids. Remembering those dates is fucking with her head. Fuck that cemetery. Fuck those kittens. When she picked up, she said,
Yes. All of them.
all of them.
Fuck.
Fuck. Then she hung up. July 4th, 1994. We graduated this year, as you know, Journal. Helen Schaffner was hit by a car the day after graduation. Then Zelda Roche died last week in her sleep from some sort of heart thing. Jessica came by today. I know it was her because she left a note tucked into the front screen door. Yes, both, is all it said. I knew who it was from. May 3rd, 1996. I drove 200 miles yesterday because she called me. She was sobbing.
Who is it now? No, not that, she said.
Then she told me. It happened in her dorm room. Why she was still living in a dorm her sophomore year, I don't know, but it happened there. She refused to call the police. She just wanted me to come there and get her and drive around, so I did. The boy's name that assaulted her was Oscar James. What a fucking horrible name. But he was a horrible boy. He did a horrible thing. We drove off her campus and just kept driving and driving. At one point, I was really lost, but Jess got us back on track and to a gas station just as my tank hit empty.
I'd kill myself, but I don't die today, she said.
Fuck that and fuck that boy, I shouted. We need to figure out a way to etch his fucking name into a grave marker. That made her laugh. We talked about all the boys and the girls, and just people in general, whose names we would put on the grave markers in that old cemetery we can never find. We both had Billy Hawley on the list. That boy turned out to be a super creep. Neither of us knows what happened to him after graduation. We drove so much, I had to fill the tank a second time, but Jess paid. She didn't want to go back to her dorm, obviously, so we got a room at a hotel and talked all night. We talked about classes and all that shit. Of course, eventually, we talked about Alicia.
Could we have done something?
Jessica asked, very tipsy on the bottle of Boone's Farm we were sharing.
No,
I said, and hiccuped artificial strawberry flavor.
You good there? I am, okay. You smell like, oh shit.
We didn't stop laughing at that until someone in the next room started banging on the wall.
How many has it been?
I asked.
17. 17? I don't remember seeing that many graves.
I do.
Right.
Then I made a stupid decision.
Write them down.
Jessica frowned at me and shook her head. She tapped her temple with the bottle.
No way. You shouldn't be the only one to remember.
She thought about it, then shrugged.
Give me a pen and paper.
She wrote them down on the hotel stationery. That's what's tucked in the back of you, Journal. 46 names are on the small sheet of paper, including Jess's. Jessica had a total of 62 different names tucked up in her crazy brain. Her beautiful, wonderfully crazy brain. Only 62, not 63, because she doesn't have to keep her own name in her head. Although I know that date in 2020 rattles around in there, just like it does in my head. I asked her again this morning, and she still doesn't want to call the police about Oscar. I can't blame her. They wouldn't believe that she hadn't asked for it in some way. They never believe us. December 18th, 1999. Bring it on, Y2K. Who gives a shit if the world falls apart because some nerds didn't think ahead, right, Journal? For 3 years, I've been ticking off the names of people who have died. Do you think some Millennium Boogeyman date thing is going to freak me out? Fuck no. Yes, Journal, I am very drunk. Yes, Journal, I apologize for not writing for so long. No, Journal, I'm not going to tell you about the boy I'm dating. I'm back. Sorry, had to puke a little. Just a little. Little smidge of puke, but I'm good. December 19th, 1999. Jess is home for winter break, and she came over this morning and, well, no, I did not clean up my puke very well yesterday. Good thing I have my own bathroom at home, right? My mum would have shit a brick if she'd walked on all the vomit I thought I'd cleaned up, but actually didn't. Jess is worried about me. She says I drink too much. I say it's Christmas break, and I'm going to drink until all the computers shut down. She said my liver will give out before New Year's. I said that I already puked my liver out yesterday. That made her laugh. I love making Jess laugh. It's not easy to do. Gets harder every year. I'm not drunk now. I'm a little wired from all the coffee I've had. I'm also a little wired from what Jess had to say.
I have AOL now, she said. Cool, me too. I set something up that's called a crawler. It goes through the web and finds specific things I tell it to. Damn, that's cool. What'd you find? Where's your list?
When she asked that, I wished I had been drinking. I fetched the list from the back of this journal, thank you journal, and gave it to her. She nodded at the names I had crossed off. Then she crossed off 6 more that I hadn't heard about. Honestly, I thought maybe the list was wrong, or better yet, that people from those markers were no longer dying according to the dates. Sucks to be wrong.
Your crawler found all these people?
Yeah, she said, and handed me the list. It's back in this journal. Thank you, journal. Then she went to my laptop that my parents had bought me for Christmas last year and started typing.
What are you doing? Giving you the crawler too?
How she said it made it sound like she was giving me a disease. I guess, in a way, she was. Except she didn't need to give it to me. We'd both had the disease since that day in 1988. September 24th, 2001. Turns out that 8 names were in the Twin Towers. Fuck, journal. Just one big fuck. This shit sucks. It really, really sucks. And I know it's going to get worse. October 18th, 2001. Tomorrow, Mrs. Cole dies. And I want to tell her, but I know I can't. How cruel would that be? The woman is in her 80s, and then some young chick calls and tell her she's going to die in the 19s. I'm messed up, but I'm not a ghoul. Jess called this morning to see if I was all right. She knows the Mrs. Cole date is one I've hung on to. We chatted for a while and wished each other a happy school year, since we both decided that graduate school was such a great idea. She's in computer programming, and I'm going to be a school administrator. Then we just said goodbye and hung up casually, like tomorrow some woman who is a mother and a grandmother, and who we both knew from around town growing up, isn't going to drop dead or whatever. I cried a lot tonight, but I feel better. October 19th, 2001. She was hit by a bus while crossing the street to get to her granddaughter's new apartment. A bus. A fucking bus. I can't stop crying. November 24th, 2001. Jess is in town for Thanksgiving. Thank fucking God. My mum said she was going to call a therapist if I didn't stop bawling my eyes out. She thinks it's 9/11 that I'm crying about. I just let her think that, so no wonder she's about to have me locked up. Time to get a grip, Carrie. I don't mean to keep crying, but on the way into town, I drove by the apartment complex where Mrs. Cole's granddaughter lives, and that just started the waterworks flowing. I think my mum called Jess because I couldn't stop crying, and I went on and on about Mrs. Cole and how I keep seeing her get hit by a bus in my dreams.
I'm pregnant.
That shut me right the fuck up.
What?
I'm pregnant.
Are you sure?
2 missed periods and 3 tests make me pretty fucking sure.
Shit.
Yup, shit.
Who's the dad?
Some rando I met at a party, for those of us in our last year of our masters.
You let some computer nerd knock you up, dumbass.
That made her laugh.
What's he think?
I haven't told him.
Shit, Jess, you gotta tell him.
Why? I'm not keeping it.
You're not?
Of course I'm not, Carrie. What the fuck?
Well, I'm sure your parents will help out. I'll 100%.
I die in 2020. She or he will be in fucking college, Carrie. My kid will be in college when I die and have to hear about it from some administrator. Or their RA or some fucking rando. I was quiet for a minute, then said,
Well, a rando wouldn't be so bad.
What?
I mean, it has certain symmetry. After all, the kid's dad was a rando.
And she laughed and laughed and cried and cried. And I laughed and laughed and cried and cried. By the time she hung up, neither of us knew if we were laughing or crying. I think I'm over Mrs. Cole. Not really, but I've got a grip now. June 17th, 2014. Jess just made the 30 under 30 list in Forbes magazine. The software company she founded after getting her PhD just sold for something like $400 million. 400 fucking million. I called her and we talked, and it was amazing to catch up. I apologized for kind of ghosting her, but being an assistant principal is the fucking worst. It is the shittiest job I have ever had, and if I don't make principal soon, I'm going to be one of those mass shooter statistics. No, not really. That's a horrible thing to say. Jess is doing great. The best she's ever been, I think. I detected zero bullshit in her voice. She is genuinely excited about her life. I'd be too if I had 400 million in my bank account. As of today, I have $355 in my bank account. Turns out that being an elementary school administrator doesn't pay shit. Who knew? Jess says we're taking a trip together this summer. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I have to work all summer. In my district, assistant principals are 12-month employees. In principle, no pun intended, I get 2 weeks off. But my principal has no principals, and has made it very clear that if I expect a recommendation for a principal's job when one opens up, that he expects me to be at school all summer long. So he can take an extended vacation with his family. I hate the guy. He really is an asshole. But his wife and kids are great, so I'm not going to screw them over. Not sure how I'm going to tell Jess. March 18th, 2017. Been a bit, journal, hasn't it? Just swinging by to say, I met a guy last night at Tom's St. Patrick's Day barbecue. It was a shitty barbecue. It rained all day, just fucking poured. But I met Josh while we all huddled under the small porch to wait out the rain. The rain did not stop, so we got out of there and went to a pub and, well, he's still in my bed, journal. Hee hee. No way I'm telling Jess. I know what she'll say. December 26, 2018. Jess is so mad at me. But fuck her, you know? How dare she ruin my amazing news? How fucking dare her, huh? She's not God. She doesn't know everything. Yes, I have a really bad hangover. Josh proposed yesterday, on Christmas. So we got stupid drunk on champagne and called everyone we knew, and they were so happy for us. Except Jess, of course. You can't do this to him, she said. You know what is going to happen.
No, I don't,
I shouted, because I was stupid drunk.
I know a date, but I don't know what will happen.
She didn't care. She kept saying I was being cruel and heartless to Josh, and he doesn't deserve to have his heart broken. I told her that she was breaking my heart by not being happy for me. She hung up. March 13th, 2020. The official word came down that we were suspending school and going to do this remote learning thing. I will probably still have to go into school because I'm the principal now, and even with the lockdown, principals are needed at the school. I told my staff they can come in if they want, but will be adhering to the strict protocols the district has put out. The CDC has been kinda useless and confusing. Our superintendent has really stepped up, I have to say. July 12th, 2020. Jessica has COVID-19. Her mum called me to say that she's in the ICU, and it wasn't good. I've been trying to reach her for days because, well, tomorrow is her date. When I called her mum and her mum told me what was going on, all I could say was,
Well, that explains that.
Then I hung up like the piece of shit I am. July 13th, 2020. Jessica is gone. Her mum called me this morning. I tried to apologize for hanging up on her yesterday, but she didn't hear me because she was sobbing, and then she hung up on me. I feel so alone. Josh knows something is up, but what can I say to him?
Hey babe, your wife's closest friend died because a grave marker said so, and your wife will die before the summer is over.
Nope, not having that conversation. August 17th, 2020. 10 days until my date. Fuck me. August 18th, 2020. Just got the call from the district that we're still going to be doing fully remote learning for the first half of the semester. We'll reassess after fall break. But I was talking with the superintendent, and odds of going back this year are slim. Maybe after Christmas break. I'm trying not to think of fall break or Christmas break. Both of those dates are well after my date. August 20th, 2020. I have a cough, but my COVID test came up negative. We've got some of the first ones in our school district. Our superintendent has some connections at the FDA or CDC or somewhere. I know enough not to ask. I don't have a fever, but I'm really not liking the cough. Fuck. I don't want to die in some ICU like Jess did. We couldn't even have a fucking service for her, for God's sake, because of this fucking lockdown. It's probably just allergies. August 22nd, 2020. Still have the cough. Still getting negative test results, and I have been taking a COVID test every day. We have stacks and stacks of them in the school's front office now, thanks to our superintendent. Families with immunocompromised members get to come by morning, noon, and even night to pick up tests. I barely go home now. There's just so much to do. We're officially a COVID test pilot program for the FDA. It's crazy how much paperwork I have to fill out each night. I did have a weird interaction with the dad today. His wife is great. His kids are great. I got to wave to them from a safe distance as they pulled up to get their tests, since the daughter has a heart condition I can't talk about, even to you, Journal, privacy and all that. I could see that the mum and dad were arguing about something. She looked frazzled when she got out and took one of the paper bags from the table we had set out. The dad only glared at me from behind the wheel. He dead-eyed me all the way out of the parking lot. I thought he was going to crash into something. August 24th, 2020. My cough is way worse. The school nurse wonders if there's a new strain of COVID that the tests aren't picking up. She shouted that idea to me from across the hall as we both sat in our offices with the doors closed. Got a strange email from that weird dad. Remember him, Journal? The asshole dad who dead-eyed me and somehow managed not to crash his car. He's apparently very upset over remote learning and thinks COVID is a conspiracy, and that he pays enough taxes that his kids have rights, and that school should open for him. He went on and on and on, and it took every ounce of willpower not to red pin his email and point out all the misspellings and syntax errors. What an asshole. I forwarded the email to the district office. There's something really off about the guy. August 26th, 2020. My cough is getting better. I'm barely sneezing, and I have never had a fever. The nurse now thinks I've been right all along, and that I have really bad allergies. I'd look for a new nurse, but that ain't happening. I don't know if I want to write this or not, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be fine. Maybe my date won't be right. Maybe since I have outlived almost everyone on the list, I have hit some sort of milestone. It could happen, right? August 27th, 2020. Today is the day. And my cough came back twice as bad in the night. Josh wanted me to go to the hospital this morning, but I said that's the last place I should go. If I don't have COVID now, then I'll sure as fuck get it there. I said goodbye, told him I loved him, and now I'm at work. Of course I am. Where else would I be on the day I'm supposed to die? I couldn't be at home. I'd go nuts. And even though all I want is to cuddle with Josh today, I'm afraid that maybe there's a chance that what gets me gets him too. I need to stay far away from him. Far away. Oh, and I got another email from that dad. He's unhinged as fuck. Lots of threats this time. Really messed up threats. I sent it to the district. They said they'd have the police look into it. August 27th, 2020. The police must not have looked into it because that dad is in the parking lot right now. I've called the district and I've called our special resource officer. The SRO said he was on a wellness check for one of our school's families and would swing by after he's done. The dad is just sitting in his car, staring at the school. August 27th, 2020. I know, journal. I could just keep one entry going since all of this shit is happening on the same day. But you know how I like to document things. The district loves me for it. I just want to say that my chest hurts like a son of a bitch, and I think I finally have a fever. Fuck. How fast does COVID take a person down? It's almost 5 in the evening, and I'm still standing. You only have until midnight, you stupid virus. Are you taking me out or what? The dad drove away about an hour ago, but he's back now. I just saw him pull in and get out of his car. You know what I should do? Go out there and cough in his crazy face. That'll show the fucker. Crazy bastard. And I know he's crazy because he's wearing a jacket when it's almost 90 degrees out. Oh great. Now he's stomping his ignorant ass up to the school. And even better, he sees me in my office watching him. What's he got there? What's he pulling out from under his coat? Oh shit. Oh fuck. Josh, I love you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these stories, be sure to click subscribe and check out some more stories here.